Phase one of the state's roadmap to recovery goes into effect tomorrow, and in part, it lifts the stay-at-home order. It's because of a plateauing and decline of some key coronavirus numbers. Right now, there are nearly 35,000 COVID-19 cases in Maryland and almost 1,700 deaths. WJZ is live. Amy Kawada breaks down what Phase one means when it goes into effect. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Lynn. Some of those places that will be able to reopen with limitations include pet groomers, clothing stores, and bookstores, but only in jurisdictions that will allow it.
Actually, we have a plateauing, leveling, flattening, and a decline of the numbers. So it's exactly what we were hoping for.
Maryland can begin to reopen starting Friday at 5 p.m. when the state's stay-at-home order is officially lifted. All retail stores in Maryland will be able to reopen at 50% capacity, along with hair salons and churches, with masks and social distancing.
This is the worst economy since the Great Depression. I feel for those business owners that I understand they want to get reopened, and I understand people need to get back to work.
Only in stage 2 could bars and restaurants open for sit-down service in a limited capacity. The governor is basing reopening on having 4 critical elements in place. Surge hospital capacity in case of another outbreak, availability of personal protective equipment, increased testing, and being able to trace the contacts of those that have tested positive.
We have to really be able to find cases through diagnostics and be able to trace their contacts. That's kind of the bread and butter public health disease control strategy.
Not all of the state will reopen at once. The governor says local leaders can make their own decisions on when it's best to start opening up. He urged caution.
A lot of it depends on how everyone treats this first phase. If everybody goes crazy and does things that are unsafe, we're going to balloon back up and slow down the process. If everybody responds responsibly, we'll be able to move forward, quicker.
Again, social distancing is still encouraged. That means gatherings of more than 10 people are still not allowed. Reporting live this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
Thank you, Amy. Even though Governor Hogan advised the stay-at-home order to be lifted, he acknowledges this might not be the right approach for every city and county in Maryland. WJZ is live this morning in Towson. Mike Shue has reaction from several local leaders about how they plan to interpret the governor's suggestions. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Tim. The governor admits that his is not a one-size-fits-all solution. While he's opening up many parts of the state, individual jurisdictions can make up their own mind. At 5 in the afternoon on Friday, retail stores, manufacturers, and personal services like barbershops and hair salons can reopen if they follow certain rules. But the governor recognized that these changes might be premature for some hard-hit areas.
4 jurisdictions account for 72% of our cases, and Baltimore City and Baltimore County are 2 of those jurisdictions who have been hardest hit.
Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski and Mayor Jack Young released a joint statement saying within a day they will decide what will happen in their areas. At a town hall meeting, Howard County Executive Calvin Ball says he's also taking a cautious look at the new guidelines.
We do not have the building blocks in place that the governor has outlined necessary for stage 1 reopening. We will continue to make decisions based upon these data and on the safety and welfare of our residents.
The governor admitted that some people feel he's moving too quickly, while others say his actions are overdue. He feels that phase 1 is a compromise.
People have to get back to work. They've got to start somewhere.
Now, Anne Arundel County will take a similar approach to Baltimore County, and Harford County is following the governor's recommendations and will reopen partially for phase 1 tomorrow. I'm Mike Shue reporting live in Towson for WJZ.
Mike, thank you. Despite the governor moving forward with phase 1, many people still don't feel comfortable with reopening. The Washington Post and University of Maryland released a new poll showing some shifts in what people thought from just a few weeks ago. The poll surveyed more than 1,000 people last week. It found 58% of people think the current restrictions on restaurants and non-essential businesses are appropriate. That is down from 66% 2 weeks ago. Despite that, about 2/3 of of people think it won't be safe to gather in groups of 10 or more until at least the end of July. 33% think it will be safe by the end of June. 19% think it's safe to reopen between now and the end of the month. As far as preventative measures, most people think we should wear masks in public, that we should stay home as much as possible, and that we should keep 6 feet apart from one another. As Amy mentioned, some local businesses will be able to reopen at 50% capacity. Kelsey Kushner got reaction from several business owners about the governor's announcement.
There's a lot of prepping, sanitizing, and hard work.
It was already a hard job. So now it's a little harder.
That goes into getting Bridget Quinn's stick line shop, We Chic, ready to open its doors for customers.
We're cautiously excited. You know, everybody builds their business because they love people. I've been missing my clients, both big and small, but I want to be sure that I'm doing that carefully.
Wednesday, Governor Larry Hogan announced phase 1 of reopening the state starting Friday at 5 p.m., meaning certain businesses can open with restrictions.
Together, we can begin to safely get back to work and get back to our daily lives.
Retail, places of worship, and hair salons can open with up to 50% capacity.
My phone is off of the hook right now.
Neha Gupta, owner of Neha Threading Salon and Spa, says after 6 weeks of being closed and only open to essential workers, she's cautiously excited to get her regular clients back in the chair, hoping her staff will feel comfortable to come back to work.
I think I was waiting for this moment to happen, but at the same time, I'm actually a little concerned.
Although retail shops can now open Friday, the state is still encouraging curbside pickup and delivery. Quinn Stickland says it's important shoppers remain safe and support local.
The small stores that you love and the small restaurants that you love really need attention as things begin to open back up again.
Now, Hogan also announced other restrictions, including having hand sanitizer and wipes inside the store. He also talked about having a floor plan. That way they can mitigate any possible foot traffic. Reporting in Baltimore, Kelsey Kushner for WJZ.
A new drive-through COVID testing site opens in Carroll County. Chopper 13 over the Agriculture Center in Westminster. This brings the total number of drive-through testing sites in Maryland to 9. Tests will be offered by appointment only to people with an order from their doctor.
Baltimore City partners with Amazon to provide more food for people. They will be delivering boxes filled with groceries to people who are homebound. That includes anyone who's at a higher medical risk or who's sick. Each box will be filled with up to 30 pounds of non-perishable food. You can get a delivery once a week, and the information you need to apply is posted at WJZ.com.
Morgan State University is moving ahead with its plans to reopen for the fall semester. The school says it plans to have full instruction featuring an innovative student choice course delivering the model for the students. Now, it says professors will incorporate remote learning with face-to-face teaching. Morgan State says it also is working on social distancing protocols as a need to address campus housing.
Bel Air is the latest town to cancel its 4th of July celebrations, and this includes the Independence Day parade and also the fireworks display. It's an effort to protect public health and abide by restrictions on large gatherings. Howard County and Towson have also canceled the fireworks show. Mount Vernon City Cafe announced it's closing after 25 years in the business. In the Instagram post, the co-owners told their employees and landlord it won't reopen after Governor Hogan lifts statewide restrictions that had closed all bars and restaurants. WJZ has everything you need to know about the pandemic. Just go to WJZ.com and look under top stories for a list of resources. The most important links and numbers are under quick links.